podcast class? Where is the podcast class? And I just saw a little problem here that we're going to fix, but here is your confused John Travolta. For those of you that have not seen or have not known about the confused John Travolta. John Travolta plays a paid assassin on Pulp Fiction, and I don't quite remember what was the scene that he goes in and he's kind of confused. I think he's about to go, kill somebody. And people manage to rotoscope. I can talk more about that later, but you can remove a person or something from an existing film and make it independent. And as you can see here, I put several elements in here that we're going to explain each one of them. But here's our backdrop, which is our classroom. I have a little jumping cat here. I have a lady pointing at the cat. And where is the podcast class? All right, let's get into it. Okay. So those are all the elements that we have here. We're going to go one by one. The first thing that we need to do is to create a new sequence. So this will be a 1080p 30 frames per second, which is fine. And I'm going to name it New Green Screen. New Green Screen. All right. So the first thing you need to put on your sequence is your backdrop. And as you can see here, we have a lot of pre-made green screen things. We will learn eventually to film on a green screen, but when you have a pre-made one, it's a lot easier to work with because the green is very homogeneous. There is no differences in shades of green. And you will see in a second here that when we remove the green, it works very well because somebody took the time to make a really good back plate of green. So it's easy to remove the green. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is to bring the backplate. And this is a little clip that I filmed with my phone here about, I'm not sure what the difference is, but let's keep it like this. I filmed the classroom. And I didn't even realize that there was a student here, but that's okay because no faces. So we have our backplate, and then we're going to bring in the green, or the first green screen one. And as you can see here, John Travolta is not the same size as the backplate, which is okay because we're going to remove the green. So if I double click on it, I will see the handles, and I can just click, hold, and then drag one of those handles here so he can be a little bit bigger. I think that, and as you see, when we remove the green, we can reposition him anywhere we want. Okay, so here is John Travolta on top of our back plate. Right now, it's a video stack on top of the other, and we can't see anything on the back because we still see the green. I'm going to go ahead and delete everything else after that because we don't need it. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go into effects, menu effects. If you don't see your menu effects, go into Windows, find effects, click on it, and it will pop up. We're going to go into video effects, keying, ultra key. This is the effect that's going to remove the green. So we're going to click, hold, and drag it into the John Travolta movie. There you go. Nothing happens because we now have to adjust or select the green. So we go now into effect controls, making sure you have your green screen movie, in this case here the John Travolta, selected. You go into the effect controls, and it's important because if I select the other one, ultra key is not there. I only dropped ultra key on the green screen one. So if I select the green screen, we see the ultra key effect here. And we see this key color, and there's an eyedropper here. We click on it. Your mouse changes from the pointer to a little eyedropper. And I'm going to, because this doesn't matter, it's pretty much the same green everywhere. It doesn't really matter where you're going to get the green. And as you can see here, when I move my eyedropper, this little square here changes with the color that the little eyedropper is working with. So it really doesn't matter where we get the green, but normally best practice is to get the green as close to the subject as possible. So we're going to click about here and boom, just like that, because we have a very good back plate. I'm sorry, a very good green back plate. It is completely gone. It is removing the green. There is no differences in green, so it did remove the green. And if we scrub here, this is the technical term, if we hold our mouse and then move our mouse across your table, or move it right or left, you can see the movement, and there is a little bit of movement on the back plate, which is okay. You know, ideally I would have this on a tripod so the back plate is not moving, but that's okay. There is a little bit of movement, and right there it's good. I can click here on composite or output and say alpha channel, so we can see that, yep, he is 100% white and everything else is 100% black. There are other instances of green screens that we have to adjust a bunch of things, and it's a nightmare. Eventually we may get there, but anyway, this is a perfect green screen. There are minor things that we can improve. So if I make him look at the camera right here, and if I increase my magnification here to 200% and move this to where I can see, you can see here that there's a little bit of something that it would be completely ignored. There's maybe a little bit of green spill here on his face, but we can actually fix this. So if we come here on matte cleanup, we can choke it a little bit, and there you have it. So here is how it was before. We choke this a little bit and pretty much gone. Now it's a much cleaner key. Again, not a lot of people would notice that, but now is almost perfect. And the closest to perfect it is, the more believable your green screen is. A problem that we have is that he was shot in 24 frames per second, so he does have a little bit of motion blur, which is cinematic. And our backdrop is super sharp because I shot this on my cell phone. So let's fix this. Let's blur the backdrop to create the focus on our actor here. So if we go back to effects, and now we're going to search for it instead of just trying to figure out where it is. We're just going to search it for Gaussian. Oops, it's GA. Gaussian blur. There it is. Gaussian blur. And I want to blur my backdrop, not John Travolta. So I'm going to click, hold, and drag this into the backdrop and release the mouse. Again, nothing happens because we need to go and adjust the effect. How we do that? We go into effect controls. This time I do have my backdrop selected, so we can see Gaussian blur here. And basically there's not much to do on this filter or this plugin other than increase the blurriness. And this is where we increase the blurriness. So I can click here and bring this up, and maybe right there, 20. Okay, so now the backdrop is blurred. He is a little bit more sharp than the backdrop. Another interesting thing here is that I can double click on him and I can move him anywhere I want. I can put him here, but I like it to put him here so he is on top of the student. I don't want to show the student. I could make him bigger. You can do whatever you want with your green screen. So let's take a look here. That's looking pretty good. There is a little bit of movement in the backdrop, but actually it kind of matches his movement because he's moving this way and then the backdrop is moving a little bit. And here more school bells, and we're probably going to have 13 more. All right. Okay, that's good. And oh, what is this? Aha. So sometimes things like this happen. So the green was not particularly well done here at the very edge, and we have a line. How do we fix this? There are a couple ways we can try to do that. I'm not sure why we have this line, but we can try to increase the pedestal. Let's see here. And that did, but not a lot. So and any time you change those numbers, we're gonna talk on another tutorial, not this one, because it's a very extensive and here's another bell, and probably 12 more now. Um, anyway, on another tutorial, more in depth in green screen, we're going to learn how transparency highlight. Actually, I do have a video on the training that explains all that. But anytime you change anything of that, you will also change the quality of your subject. So sometimes your subject becomes transparent and you don't want that. What I want to do here is color correction. Actually, I want to bring him luminance. I want to make him a little darker. There you go. So I can make him lighter, more light, but I actually want to make him a little darker. That's it. Okay. So how to remove this line here? So we tried pedestal. Pedestal didn't work. So what we can do and what we will do is work with opacity. Now opacity here, we can create a mask around our subject. To do that, I need a little bit more space here. And I actually want to make it smaller. Now I need to go 25%. There you go. Because I want to create a mask around him. Okay. So let's use the pen tool. And I am going to start putting dots here on the screen, and as you can see, we're starting to create a mask, and I will show you what's happening in a second here, because I just realized I should have done this another way so you guys could see what's going on. I need to close my mask. Okay, so I need to click on the initial dot here, and boom, my mask is closed. You didn't see anything happening because let's click here on our Ultra key and go to alpha channel, and this is what happened. So I removed the green screen around, I confined the green screen around the mask. So anything that was outside the mask is no longer in existence. When you create those masks, you make it a lot easier for keying your green screen. That thing that was improperly done with the clip, that line here, now it's disappeared. Anything else that was maybe spilling outside the borders, and normally when you do green screen you have a lot of noise on the corners. This is gone when you create a mask. The problem when you're creating a mask is that you're also confining the action inside the mask. So now we have to scrub to make sure that he's not going to go outside the mask, or we will have to readjust. Oops, and his hand, as you can see here, is going outside the mask, and because his hand is going outside the mask, it is disappearing. So not to worry, we just click on the little node here of the mask, and we increase the mask size. I can even click here and create a new node. All right, now his hand is not disappearing, and he's probably need to increase this mask a little bit more. I could move the mask with him, but it's kind of complicated. And his head now, it's going outside the mask. So let's increase the mask here. So we got him inside the mask all the way to the end, and that's it. Okay, so there you go, and the hand. And as you can see here, there is a tiny little transparency here when he elbow turns. I'm not sure why, but it's almost imperceptible because it's just a couple frames, and he's all inside the mask. Fantastic. So let's go back here to composite. All right, and there it is. So and for you guys, that's really all you have to do. You can play with more elements. I did put a little jumping cat. I did put some shadow on the jumping cat to make it a little bit more realistic. As you can see here, there's a little shadow of the jumping cat because there's some light coming from the window, and the shadow follows the jumping cat, so it makes a little bit more believable that the cat is jumping on the floor. I did put a little lady here. You guys don't have to do that. I just want you to learn how to create masks and how to do green screen. I want you to write a text here, say whatever, that's your meme. How do you write text? You click here on the text tool, and then you position your text tool here on top of whatever place of the image you do, and write something. Where is the video class? Oops, question mark. You can later come back to the selection tool, and then you can move that. You can make it bigger by positioning your mouse at the end of the handle here. This one here, oh yeah, you can make it bigger this way too. All right, so that's all I want you guys to do. Put John Travolta there or anything else. If you like the horse lady here, you can use the horse head lady and do something different. Let me show you guys just how to do that. Yet another layer. We can just drag the horse head lady here. Oh, the horse head lady is pretty big. Let's cut everything that it's going outside it. Let's right click and say scale to frame size. There you go. We do have to remove the green. How do we remove the green? We go into effects. Let's remove the Gaussian search here. Video effects, key in, or I can search for Ultra key. Click, hold, and drag Ultra key on the horse lady's video. Let's go to effect controls, eyedropper or color dropper. Click on it and boom, it's removed. I can move that lady, and you can see here that the key is not as good as the one before. We can take a look at alpha channel here. As you can see here, there's a lot of noise here. So this is an actual filmed green screen. This is the problem that we see. Normally the corners of a green screen have noise, so I would ideally create a mask around that talent that is jumping here. I probably, how long is that? It's 20 minutes. Okay, let's go ahead and create a mask. Okay, so let's put this 25%. Let's go to opacity, click here, and start drawing a mask around the talent so we can confine the green screen to a more manageable section. We also need to make sure that now that we have a mask, we're not confining, and we do have the hand outside the mask. I could increase that, or I can just move the whole thing here. I want to move the whole video, not just opacity. All right, the whole video. Yes. So now the hands, excuse me, the hand is outside the frame, so it doesn't matter. So there we go. Oops, we need to fix that. So let's click here on mask and let's increase the mask here. And maybe a little bit more here. And that's okay. It's going out of frame, so that's fine. Don't matter. Oh boy. Okay. More masks down here. And oh boy. Okay. All right. Maybe that's not a good example, but anyway, put the cat. The cat is a lot easier to manage. Now we have to fix this, okay? Because this is it needs to be black, or else it's spilling. So let's change here from composites. You can barely see it because, yeah, you know what? You can barely see it because it's black in here. But you would be seeing something weird, some sort of a noise here. And there is some green on the horse's head. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be like this. But anyway, let's play here and see what's going on. I should probably make this smaller. So let's scale it down here. There you go. Now you can see that this is the noise here and not the mask. I don't want to move the mask. I want to move the whole video. And let's double click in here and move this way. I want to fix this, so let's go here on Ultra key. Matte generation. I'm going to increase the pedestal. Again, I'm going to have another video explaining all this because there's a lot to learn. So there you go. The noise is gone and it is pretty much preserved. So let's play again and let's put this in loop here. And let's make this full screen. See what's going on. I need to put her behind the text. So let's do that. Let's go back in here. And how do I put the horse lady behind the text? This is the text. I just move the text up. Now the horse lady is behind the text. And let's make this bigger again. And there you have it. Confused John Travolta and a horse lady dancing. Very avant-garde. All right. So this is the training for this week 35. Create yourself. Oh, by the way, you are going to film your backplate. Do not use mine. Film your own backplate on tripod of whatever you want. Put John Travolta there, the confused John Travolta, or if you want to, we can film yourself on the studio on top of a green or in front of a green screen, and we can make something similar. But you film your backplate, use John Travolta or anything else. Key out the green screen. Make sure you put a mask to make sure it's not noisy. Put a text on top of it. Render and submit your assignment. If you do have questions, I'm always here to help.